Hey there, Dave, and welcome to the Color Cinema. I am here tonight in a different room, but if you were watching just this earlier on tonight, then you saw this. So first things first, since I am on my iPad part today, let's do this whole. There we go. Can you hear me? Okay. We'll do the sound test first because I always like to do that at the beginning of the video because I don't want you guys to be like kind of unsure or have me seem kind of muffled, especially near the beginning. So let's go. Hey there, IB. Tonight we are talking about Black Friday as the countdown to Black Friday continues, and I was asked yesterday, hey there, Amy, if I would look into the Vinegar Syndrome limited editions and talk about some of them that I think are ones that you need to have. Hi there, Eddie. So that is what we're doing tonight. And we're talking about that rad announcement that happened earlier that I'm sure is going to cause a bit. Hey there, Jason. That's going to cause a bit of a stir. Hey, George. Welcome, man. Indicator guy. In the whole Vinegar Syndrome thing. So the sale, Black Friday sale, was going just pretty good as it was. The got Fade to Black. There's a second volume to the Forgotten Jelly set. Beastmaster's coming in 4K. And then they announced something that some people are going to be very, very excited for. So the biggest selling thing that ever came out. Hey there, Elvin. You watch my channel, the more money you spend. Hopefully that's a good thing. I'm going to break the bank, but hey there. Hey, Ron. Run your shipping confirmation for your PS5. I am so excited for you because that is going to be awesome. The PS5, I'll be honest with you, it looks like they're going to win the thing between, like, I like them both. I'll have them both eventually. But PS5, it's a gamer's console. Anywho, we are going to chat tonight about Vinegar Syndrome. And did everybody see the announcement that they made today? It was a pretty rad announcement. Rest in peace, Hal Ketchum. I don't know a lot about country music, Alan, but never good to hear somebody passing out. Jason. I'm not sure if this is going to be a super interesting to you, but it's good to know. So who here picked up a rad during the last big sale that they did? Remember when they had rad? Hey there, long time, Brian. So this is Brian Sauer from Just the Discs. If you did not see the video that we did together early on, Brian did a live stream earlier on today, and I was honored to be on it. So make sure that if you have not checked that out, make sure you check that out later on because it's really good and it's really fun. We had a blast doing it. We had a couple like audio issues at the beginning of it, which is kind of like yesterday. I had the video issues because my camera jumped out at me and it became a Blair Witch project. So between us, we've made a found footage film in the first 10 minutes of both of our videos. So always good. So the announcement that came out today was that there was 250 copies of Rad that are left in the warehouse. Now, apparently what had happened was every single one of these had like really screwed up, really badly damaged slipcovers. So at first they just tossed them aside, but the whole thing is that basically it was just the slipcovers that are hurt. The discs, the cases are fine. So they're going to sell them sans slipcover. Hey there, Richard. There are only 250 left during the sale. And if you understand what rad, then you're going to understand that basically that's it. That's all the physical copies. From there on out, their stuff is probably going to be, the only way you're going to be rad is through digital. And that is not so rad. So if you're into BMX biking, and hey there, mid-level, welcome. Did you hear about the rad announcement? And if you want to see a movie with Lori Loughlin, who I swear gets, she's never aged, on a BMX bike, and with the lead star also on a BMX bike, dancing in the middle of a high school gymnasium on their bikes. Well then, this is the movie for you. And I am not even joking. So, for those that don't know it, this, my friends, is Rad. Hey there, Marvin. Welcome, man. And this was a slipcover. So, we'll ignore this for a second because that's not going to be in the sale. But still, you will get it like this. The only 4K release of the movie Rad. And as far as I can probably tell, even though the slipcover's gone, I do know that there was initially, and we'll know for sure on Black Friday, a little poster that came with Rad, which is actually kind of cool. So let's look at it. So this is a poster for Rad, but it doesn't stop there. This is only half of it. No, it has the whole Hell track shown on here. And if you've ever seen the movie, you know what the Hell track is. Hey there, Mary, welcome. So if you missed out on this one, then this is your second and probably last chance to get it. Because I was asked yesterday if there's going to be any limited editions that are going to sell out really, really quickly. So yeah, this thing is going to sell out quickly. Rad is one of those films that just has a big fan base. It got a certain demographic and audience at a specific period of time. And if you're an 80s kid anyway, like I am, or you're just somebody that likes 80s style films, then Rad is like Karate Kid without, with BMX instead of karate. That's pretty much what Rad is. So if you want to be rad, wow, I'm totally in dad joke mode tonight. Then you can get your copy of Rad. Will it last? 250 copies, and I've seen people going crazy on the internet over it. More than likely, it's only going to be 1 or 2 copies per person, so jump onto the copy that you want. If it's 2 copies, you want to get one for a friend of yours, do that, but they'll probably limit it to 1 just to make sure that whoever wants to get one will get one. And if you think that's kind of silly, because who is going to get 1 copy per customer? There you go, Matthew right away knows it. Who's going to watch a BMX movie from the 1980s? Well, highest selling Vinegar Syndrome release of all time. So, a lot of people. That's who. There's a lot of people. So, I brought up the list here tonight for the Vinegar Syndrome limited editions. So, I could go through some of them. And I actually brought some up here to show you guys as well. So, basically, a few of the things that I think are probably going to sell out or be close to selling out during the sale. We're going to look at that. I'm going to let you know why I like some of these releases. One was pretty obvious. I've shown it before. Yep, I'm going to mention, like I promised last night, I'll be mentioning things that are low stock, and I will actually go through the list of titles. Hey there, Dick, and let you guys know where the numbers were at as of just a little while before the sale. Now, these aren't up-to-date numbers, so some of these may be lower than what I mentioned on here tonight, but this is a good way to figure out which ones we think are going to go first. And one thing that I will say is that, as always, lower numbered stuff tends to go first. But actually, I like BMX Bandits. It's got if that's the one that's got Nicole Kidman, it is pretty good. Is it? Any possible discounts on Forgotten Jelly Volume 2? No, the Forgotten Jelly Volume 2, this is its first run. It's going to be introduced in the sale, so there won't be any discounts on Forgotten Jelly Volume 2, but you will, if you don't have Volume 1, you'll be able to get that one at the 50% off price. So not quite sure what that's going to be because I don't know what the prices were. Last year I did a whole list of stuff and that I wanted, and I did the numbers, and I wrote down the prices and everything before it went down. I did not get to do that this time, so I do apologize, though I do have some numbers up here. And we'll look at some of the titles that I think are going to go out of print, at least for ones that I think VSAs might go to print, limited editions that are going to go to print, at least with their slipcover. And as you know, everybody loves a good Vinegar Syndrome slipcover because they're kind of the best at it. Everybody has their strength, and Vinegar Syndrome slipcovers is one of their big strengths. It's one of the things that sells a lot of their movies, and there's a reason for that. So first off, before even showing the stuff that I got there, I will run through the list And you guys can stop me at any time, by the way. Questions, all the type, all that jazz. And if I know the movie, if I got the film, or if I don't, even if I don't have it, I know stuff about it, or there's other people that are in here that may have the film that I don't have. Make sure don't don't wait, don't be like in the back of the classroom not asking the question. Ask the question, because even if I don't know it, somebody here will, okay, and I will get schooled too. So I need that. That's always a good thing for me. So here we go. These are the titles that are under 1,000 copies, and I'll go down. Now this one was done, I think, on around the 17th. So some of these will be lower than they are. All right, so Limbo is down to 961 copies. Oh, Rad was released, Videodrome. Rad sold out, but they had 250 copies with damaged slipcovers that they couldn't sell. So that's what's going next. So that for sure. So Rad, 250 copies, one per person. Is that going to sell out? Yes, probably in the first day. Limbo is at 961 copies. I'll be honest with you. That's okay, man. That's what I'm here for. These won't have slipcovers, of course, but maybe they'll have the poster, so we'll see. I don't know a lot about Limbo. Is that one of their adult titles? I'm not sure. Hey there, Robert. Do I think Beastmaster will sell out this weekend? They have, from what I heard, Robert, there's 10,000 copies of Beastmaster that the Vinegar Syndrome has. And I don't know if it's going to sell out this week, but Beastmaster is a pretty popular title. It's a Don Coscarelli film. It's Sword and Sorcery, and it is the first VSU title. So expect that to move a lot of units this week, and a lot of people would have already pre-ordered Beastmaster, so I'm not quite sure how much it's down right now stock-wise, but it's definitely one that you don't want to wait on too long, because I got a feeling Beastmaster is going to be one of those that go fast and sells really, really quickly. That's a really great question, actually. But 10,000 copies, and I know that may seem like a lot, but I tell you, I understand, man. But Beastmaster is one of those that is a big title, much like Rad was a big title. For me, Beastmaster is my Rad, whereas I wasn't the kid that grew up with Rad. I did see the film. Actually, no, I may have seen. Saw part of the film. See, you might think that, Matthew, but here's the thing. Rad sold 10,000, like, was it 10,000 or 12,000 copies? Hey there, Dylan, welcome, man. So think about that, Rad, and I'd be willing to bet a bunch of you guys on here, myself included, never expected that to sell the way it did. Now, Beastmaster is a known franchise, getting its 4K for the very first time. And now, not just that, it's a Don Coscarelli film with Tanya Roberts in 4K. And for the ladies, Mark Singer in 4K. So, or whoever, whoever you like. Tanya Roberts, Mark Singer. Both of them are going to be in 4K. With this is the very first in a new line. The Vinegar Syndrome Ultra line. So, I would expect something like that to just on predictions on previous sales, I'd expect it to go like pretty well. So we'll see. And hopefully it does go well. Hopefully everybody gets a chance to get a copy of Beastmaster, because I think that everybody should go. And I want Terry and Dan to get a copy of Beastmaster. That's for sure, man. I know you like the film. So you ready? Let's go through these numbers. Ask questions along the way. It makes it a lot more fun, because if I'm talking to myself, it's like an echo chamber. Are we ready? Are you ready for the numbers? I know the numbers part can be a bit dry, but it's good to know what we're leaning in with. So let's do some predictions as we go through. Best Friends, which, correct me if I'm wrong, that's Larry Cohen. And that is down to 768. So 768 may seem like a larger, kind of a large number, but Best Friends is a Larry Cohen one. It's one I'm going to be watching over the sale, because I really do like Larry Cohen stuff. So, and I'm pretty sure that's Cohen. So Old Dracula is down to $9.91. I don't expect that to sell out during the sale, but people do tend to pretty much go a lot for these limited editions, and especially the horror titles that somebody mentioned there earlier. So that does tend to happen a lot. In the AGFA like slipcover ones, and we got to remember that the like everything that I mentioned here, Robert, are things that are going to have slips. So I won't be mentioning anything here without slips tonight, but I will be so because I'm doing the limited editions right now. So it'll be either slips or box sets that I'll be mentioning right now, and of course Rad, which doesn't have a slip, but it's 250 copies. Um, so in AGFA, their first cover slipcover one, which was McPherson tape, sold it pretty fast. The Scare Film Archives Volume 1 Drug Stories has done pretty well, but it hasn't exactly sold out. It's got 506 copies left. I do like Scare Files. Some titles that were standard editions had a number left. Does that mean that they are gone after that? No, it just means that they're sold out. Hey there, Chris. That means that they're sold, like unless they say otherwise, it just means that they're going to be sold out for a little while during the sale. So they may hopefully replenish that stock during the sale, or it may be replenished afterwards. Hey there, J Movies. Perfect Strangers is Laricon. That's the one I'm trying to get. Thank you, because I mixed it up. See, this is what you guys need to tell me. I will mix things up. I have to make at least one mistake in a night, just keep you on your toes. But actually, no, I didn't know. I messed them up. I did like the Scare Film Archives Volume 1. That's a blast. It's a great party disc, and it is so fun. Dr. Jekyll's Dungeon of Death, which you if you're on my Patreon, you got to see me actually talk about and review Dr. Jekyll's Dungeon of Death, and that one is that was a fun review to do actually. Wicked Stepmother's one with Bette Davis' last film, right? They had to get who was it, Barbara Carrera, to come in and to take over because she was ill. That's one that I would love to see get a good release. That like screams Vinegar Syndrome actually. Dr. Jekyll's Dungeon of Death is down to $9.67, which is still pretty good. But remember, it's a VSA, so keep an eye on that title during the sale. If you see it getting really low, you might want to go. If you're into Dr. Jekyll's Dungeon of Death, it's a pretty bad film, but it's a pretty fun film too. So it all depends on your idea of fun. But it's one that once it sells out, like every other VSA title, like Evil Town, it is gone. So there is no getting it unless you want to buy it on a secondary market, and that's going to cost you a lot. Next up is Blood Games, which is down to $4.66. And Blood Games is one of the best covers and one of the best films that Vinegar Syndrome has put out. It is a great release. I recommend that everybody have Blood Games in their collection because it is that good of a film, and the special bonus features are great as well. It is an excellent title. There is great acting in the film. There is it moves along at a pretty quick pace. Got some really great actors in there, including some classic actors doing roles as well, and an actress that would move away from acting actually and would go into becoming one of the premier stunt women in the entire world, and she is on Blood Games. And you want to see her pretty much getting her stunt work start right there. Watching the player and getting... I'd have to rewatch that to kind of get that feel. The Immortalizer is down to $4.39. Now the Immortalizer is one that's been on my radar a bit, but I'm not quite sure about it. It does have the cover has a bit of a full moon vibe to it. If you've seen the cover, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But I don't remember seeing it. I know that I saw it a long time ago, but I can't remember it like basically at all. Like I spoke with Brian on his YouTube channel. Make sure you check it out. And he mentioned Night Visitor. I remember the cover Night Visitor. I remember seeing Night Visitor. I can't remember anything about Night Visitor. And I know Shannon Tweed is in it, so I know I watched it. But not in this one though. Anybody have the Immortalizer? Anybody can recommend the Immortalizer to people out there? Anybody think that's a fun title to get? Is there a reason we should be picking it up? It is down to $4.39, and it is a limited edition horror title, so those are the ones you're really going to be looking into. Next up is Patty Hearst, which is down to $3.01, and that is a great title. It not only is that like a really cool Vinegar Syndrome title, it's a really, really cool title. It's a Paul Schrader film, and Paul Schrader that did Blue Collar and Taxi Driver and like tons of other films. If you're not if you're not familiar with Paul Schrader, this is a really great way to get yourself familiar with him. The actress that played Patty Hearst, unfortunately, she is of course passed on. William Forsythe is in this movie, and it is a really cool little film, one that I strongly recommend that you check out. So Patty Hearst down to 301. I predict that Patty Hearst will sell out with its slipcover edition during the Vinegar Syndrome sale. So it is one to put into your cart early on if you're really interested in Paul Schrader and you want to get, like, honestly, a serious quality film during the Vinegar Syndrome sale. Next up is Pale Blood, and that is down to 155. Now, Pale Blood may not be the greatest film on there. It's got George Chakiris from West Side Story. We have the great Wings Hauser that pretty much steals every scene that he's in any film that he's in. And it has the most gorgeous looking slipcover and cover that Vinegar Syndrome put out. And I do include Blood Games among that. So yes, I do think that the cover is that good and that sexy. And I do have it up here. So I will be showing that to you later on tonight when we look through some of the stuff that is going low. And if you don't have Pale Blood, it's down to 155. This is one where if you miss the slipcover, you're going to kick yourself because it is a really, really good little slipcover. And it's an interesting little film there as well. Olivia, otherwise known as Proxy for UK, for you guys there over in the UK, is out. And yes, there is an 88 Films edition of the film, Proxy, under the title Proxy. But one thing that you should know is that the Vinegar Syndrome edition of Olivia, aka Proxy, is the most uncut version of the film that is available. So if you really like the film and you say you got the 88 Films edition of it, yes, there is more in the Vinegar Syndrome edition, and it is something to look into. And will it sell out during the sale? It's at 412. There's a high possibility when you get into the under 500s that some of these are either going to sell out or go really, really low. Miranda Jolie and Natasha. I haven't seen, like, Dylan, I'm going to take your word on that because I haven't seen the picture quality of the 88 Films one. But I'm pretty sure, like, when it comes to that, Vinegar Syndrome is definitely the one to go with. First thing in your tongue. All right. Next up is Hell Riders, and this is a VSA release. So this is a Vinegar Syndrome Archives release, and for those that don't know, Vinegar Syndrome's archive releases are limited editions in every possible way that you can think. It has a limited edition cover, it has a limited edition poster, and it is a limited edition film. After VSA sells out, there are no standard editions that come out afterwards. So if there are any VSAs that you're interested in, please get those early on, because once they go, there is no getting them unless you're going to the secondary market, and that is a pain in the butt. Never give money to scalpers, give money to the companies. And Hell Riders has the thing of having Adam West and Tina Louise in it. And if that doesn't, and it's a motorcycle film, and that doesn't say on it, I don't know what will. But yes, I do actually, because I'm going to show you the cover of Hell Riders in a little bit with the poster, and you guys will see exactly what I mean by a cool release to pick up. Hollywood Horror House has 777 copies left. Again, another intriguing one with an older like Hollywood actress that unfortunately passed away when the film was being made, which caused some changes to be made in what they could do with the film. Some intriguing changes, actually, and something that I was very, very interested in checking out. Hopefully this one doesn't sell out completely, because I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to get it during this sale, but it is one that I'm very, very interested in. Extra 3 Watch the Skies. So if you like really cheesy, like horror, like sci-fi titles, if like you're like Night Beast, that's kind of your bag, that's kind of your thing, that's your jam, then you're probably going to like Extra 3. Extra 3 Watch the Skies. It is pretty cheesy. It is pretty low budget. It is at 754. I don't see it selling out during the sale, but I've been like surprised other times when it's come to the sale. I've seen things come like that seem to have a lot of copies. Just people go and grabbing them in a flurry at the last minute. Public Affairs, one of the adult titles, is down to 660 in number. Now, 660 Public Affairs. I'm not quite sure Public Affairs is going to be one that sells out. There was a rush on some of the adult titles with slipcovers last time around, but some of them actually didn't didn't really sell out the way that I think that they thought they were. But Pelvic Fairs is supposed to be a pretty good one. I don't remember it, but look into it and see if it's something that you're into. Zombie Island Massacre is at 976, and it's a shame because I think Zombie Island Massacre is definitely one of the more fun titles that Vinegar Syndrome put out in the last little while. A lot of people like don't really know it, but it's got a score by Harry Manfredini, of course, of Friday the 13th, which was just mentioned there. He did the score, and it's a very Friday the 13th score. There are no zombies in this film. It is actually a film. It's more of a kind of a slasher, Scooby-Dooish type film, and it's pretty good. It runs at a pretty decent click, and it's never one of those films that drags on too much. It goes pretty well, and it's really helped by the Harry Manfredini score, and I do recommend it. It is a good one. Score to an ant, Zombie Island Massacre. Did Harry Manfredini do the score for the children? I can't remember that. It's been a long time since I've seen the children. I'm not selling Rad. I like my copy of Rad. But I would like to have Dawn to Death. Uh, Flesh Eating Mothers, the Trauma title. That's the score for Wes Craven's Swamp. He did actually, yeah. But that is a much different score. This, when you listen to Zombie Island Massacre, you will get strong shades of Friday the 13th. It's really prevalent in Zombie Island Massacre. Flesh Eating Mothers has 860 copies left. Do I see that one selling out? No, I really don't. Maybe I get a little biased because it's never been one of my favorite titles, but it has been a long time since I've seen it. I'll pick this up eventually, but I don't think it's something I'm going to be grabbing during this sale. Great cover though, great slipcover. If you like the erotica titles, then 1001 Erotic Nights is down to 491. Now, that also includes the sequel, 1001 Erotic Nights Part 2. And I think that if that doesn't sell out, I'll be kind of surprised because I think that was a really good one. What the poll showing lately? It's going back and forth between the Silent Madness and the anthology film. A lot of people are thinking it's going to be Silent Madness, so hopefully you're not disappointed. Hey there, Amir, welcome. But I'm actually, well, I've got 1001 Erotic Nights, and I'm glad I do. Death Bomb hooked me up with that one, and he's not here tonight, but I appreciate it, Death Bomb. Justine is another one of the erotic titles. Is down to 470. That one does have a great cover on it, and I did really like Justine. Of course, there are so many that of those style films that come out, like the Justine, like the Sod and all that type. And Justine was one of those that really stood out, so I really enjoyed that title. Opinion, but No Way Home Severin release. I mean, it's for some people. It's not really for me. I'm going to be honest with you. It's an interesting title, but as I said on the Just a Disc podcast or on Just This vlog or live stream earlier on tonight, it's a good title, but I don't know if it's a Black Friday good title. Now that's just me though. For some people, this is my upstairs. This is where I do a lot of my work. My iMac is right here. I do a lot of work on here, and my Nitro 5 is right here. And whenever you see me on StreamYard doing a video, then that's on this computer right here. And I need to be up here tonight, so basically I could look at my resources, so I wouldn't have to be bringing computers and all that stuff downstairs. Hey there, Flip. Welcome, man. It is good to see you in here and good to see you safe. We're going through the entire limited stuff for Vinegar Syndrome, so we'll get an idea of exactly what some stuff that you that you may want to grab. Say hi to the family. I'll have you on here sometime in the near future, man. Next up is Hard Soap. That is down to 172. It's a limited edition release, and again, this is another one of the adult style titles. So just know that going in, there is a second film on that disc. So that's kind of a double feature, and that's one that I expect out of all of the more adult titles. I think that this one could be one that is going to sell well and sell out. Rejuvenator, actually. Sort of. I mean, I kind of remember it. Like the title, just sticks in my head. But if I'll be honest, if you asked me to tell you what it's about right now, I couldn't do it. But it does sound like something. Is that the one with like the? I'm not sure. It's not like a test tube or something like that, with the green like stuff in it. Almost like it almost has kind of a reanimator style cover. Is that the one? Because if it is, I remember the cover, but I don't remember the film that well. It's like Rabbit Grannies plus Reanimator plus a Boneyard. That's quite the mix, and that would interest me actually. All right, so next up is Savage Dawn, which is down to 686 copies. And Savage Dawn, yes, again, this is a limited edition VSA release. So that is one that if you want Savage Dawn, you're going to want to get Savage Dawn during the sale. I got the copy of Savage Dawn right over there, so I'm going to show that to you guys. I'll share the slip cover, I'll share the poster, and I'll let you know the cast of Savage Dawn, which I think is probably going to sell you on this movie if you don't have it yet. It's actually a really, really good release. Next up is the one that I know is going to sell out during the sale, finally. And if you haven't got it yet, I 100% recommend that you pick this up. Parasitic, I remember that. And that is Amityville: The Cursed Collection box set. Some people are waiting to see them come out singularly and or get them one. I recommend that if you're going to get into the Amityville stuff, get the set itself. It is a really well put together set. It is 4 films, and in my opinion, it's 4 solid films. Some you may like one better than the other, but I don't think that there's any of those films that you can't put on and watch and rewatch. They just have rewatchability factors to them, and that's really good when it comes to this style stuff. So and by the way, that right now, Anvil Curse Collection was at 101 copies, and I think it went down a lot lower than that right before. So that's one that you may want to put into your cart immediately. And remember, guys, it is definitely one to check out. Decoder is down to 405, and I'll be honest with you, I don't know a lot about Decoder. I don't remember it that well. So if anybody knows Decoder, I had somebody tell me that Decoder is a really, really good one. Is Vinegar Syndrome set better than the Outerprint Scream Factory Anvil set? In every way possible, Matthew. Of course, the Outerprint Scream Factory set is the 3 titles that came out in theater. I'll be honest with you, the best title for the Anvil series is still for me, of the theater ones, is Part 2. But the Anvil ones that came from come to the Vinegar Syndrome set, one was a TV film, but a really good TV horror film that has just the right amount of cheese, but the rest are 3 straight to video films. And if you know me and a lot of stuff that I like, I do prefer the straight to video stuff a lot better. You get a lot of different actors on there. You get a lot more of the exploitation genre stuff. And let's be honest, I love the movie Amityville, but there are times when it can be a bit slower. And I don't think you're going to find that in any of the Curse collections. And will tell you, everyone in the Curse collection is better than Amityville 3D, which I like for the 3D aspect of it. But I'll be honest with you, it's a bit of a slow film that relies way too much on the 3D aspects of the film and not enough on actually having a cohesive or even really decent storyline. So yes, I would say 100% grab yourself that one right there. Jason is recommending the Malabimba and the Collar, which are 2 that are on my list of ones to really look at, by the way. And we'll be getting down to that one actually, because Malabimba is down to 186 copies. So if you want Malabimba, that one is for sure probably going to sell out during the sale. At 186 copies, people are going to be going for those really low ones first. Those are the ones you're going to see them jumping in and trying to snipe, put them into the cart. So whenever you see things that are down to 100 and some copies or 200 copies, people are going to be sniping those first. And anything that's really genre oriented, that tends to be the stuff that they do. Yeah, new generation from Curse Collection as David Naughton, who was American Werewolf London and in the Dr. Pepper commercials. Thank you, Matthew. I love those stickers. And also their Shaft. So buy it. Yeah, Richard Roundtree, man. Next up is the Gerard Damiano film. Let My Puppets Come. So the puppet one is gonna be not be for everybody. It's an adult film, but I thought it was a really really good one. It's a really fun release, and I definitely recommend that you guys check it out if you're into that type of stuff. If you're not, probably do a pass on it. But if you like things like Meet the Feebles and that type of stuff, it's actually this is my Halloween 2 shirt from the first Halloween 2 from Spencer's that I got last year. I'm a huge fan. No, actually not from Spencer's. Is it? No, it's from. Is it from Spencer's? It's from Spencer's. Yeah, I think. I get my Spencer's and Sunrise shirts mixed up. But I'm a huge, as you guys know, I'm a huge Halloween fan. Next up is Nine Lives, which was Abel Ferrer's adult film. And I can't say the whole title of the film, not on here, of course. But if you like Abel Ferrer and you're interested in like adult cinema, it's definitely a curious to check out. I have not picked it up yet, even though I'm a huge Abel Ferrer fan, and it's because the whole title of the film, like putting that in my library, I don't know. Next up is Hellmaster, and Hellmaster has the late great John Saxon in it. It's a fun little title, and it's again it's an exploitation. Yeah, it's down to 305, so you make sure you. Oh, I didn't say. So the puppet one is down to 432, and Nine Lives is into 414. So keep an eye on both of those. I don't expect either one of those to sell out, but they can always surprise you with what goes. Hellmaster over at 305, that is definitely one to look at if you're into that style of film, like the supernatural horror stuff. That's definitely going to be a cool one. Anything with the Sam Deegan commentary is worth the purchase, in my opinion. She is really good when it comes to commentaries. And make sure you check out the Just the Disc podcast episode for his Vinegar Syndrome month that has Sam Deegan on it, and it's great. It is a great episode. Auntie Lee's Meat Pies, Wicked Stepmother, Rejuvenator. Granny with Stella Stevens. I love Granny, actually. That's a really cool film. I'm a huge Stella Stevens fan, just so you know. All right, so next up is Play Dead, which is down to 758 copies, and it's a really cool little film. I do like Play Dead. It's got Yvonne DiCarlo in it from the Munsters. It's a satanic dog film, and that's a subgenre all on its own. So Play Dead's not the only satanic dog film. You got like Zoltan, Hound of Hell, and like there's a whole bunch of these things. But I really did like Play Dead. It's just a fun, cheesy little title that I definitely recommend. And that's down to 758. And okay, have a great evening there, man. And we're getting to some of the good ones, but okay. Rest up, and I'll talk to you hopefully tomorrow. And on your way out, if you can, and anybody there, please hit the like button. It helps my channel a hell of a lot, and it lets you guys know when these videos are coming up. And I will be trying to do a live video, by the way, on the night that Vinegar Syndrome is going to be doing their sale live. So I will hopefully be able to, at least close to it, kind of go in together and look at some of these titles, and you'll get some of my reactions on the releases alive as it happens. So I'm going to be looking to do that. The rumored Halloween game. Oh, that I'm interested in. All right. So next up is Mascara, which is down to 462. If there is a title that is in the adult genre that I would recommend, if you've never checked one out before, it would be Mascara. It is a really good film. It has kind of a French New Wave style to it. And story-wise, it actually kind of breaks my heart a bit, but in all the good ways, not in a ultra-depressing way, but it's a really, really good film. Next up is The Pink Ladies, which is down to 471. Now, there's one that I don't know much about, but again, it's another one of the adult titles, and guys, I don't, unfortunately, although in my youth I did watch a lot of those, I don't know the title right now. Maybe I would if I saw the cover, but I'm not sure. Taking a Tiger Mountain is down to 78 copies, so you can be pretty sure Taking a Tiger Mountain is going to be gone early on during this sale. And I would love a Michael Myers film set in the hospital, by the way. That would be awesome. Oh, yeah, Roberta Finley's commentaries are always great. Italian Dan, and the Mascara commentary is no exception. It is a fantastic commentary, and I would recommend anything. If you see Roberta Finley's name attached to a Vinegar Syndrome movie, that's an automatic pickup. That is for me anyway. Night Owl is going to be down to 308. That is a John Leguizamo film. Young John Leguizamo. This is a vampire movie, and I missed out on this one during the last sale. I was unaware of the film, and I did not know enough about it. So, but it's something that is high on my radar right now. I really like John Leguizamo. I think he's a very underrated actor, incredible character actor. And to see like an early film with him, like a kind of a raw, grittier, like vampire type film, I'm hoping it's going to give me kind of a feel of like Abel Ferrara's like Addiction, a style of vampire film. I haven't seen a Night Owl, so I don't really know. But it's one of those the blind buys that I think I feel safe getting. The passing is down to 156, and again, don't know a lot about the passing, but it, if that's your jam, or if you know what it is, or you can if you've got it and you can say the passing is an excellent film, people should pick it up. It is down to 156, so you can't expect that one to probably sell out during this sale here. Anything that's under the 200 mark is ripe to sell out. Not everything will. Like there's always surprises. There's always kind of like swerves along the way, but that's something that's worth looking into. Lust in the Dust has 683 copies left. That's a Paul Bartel film. Unfortunately, I don't think it'll sell out, but it is a really good little film. It's got Tab Hunter. It has Divine in it. I think Lena Kazan's in that one as well, if I remember correctly. What year is Night Owl? That's a good question, actually. I really don't. Where is mine? I was looking for my iPad. I'm actually on it. I think it's early 90s when for Night Owl, but or late 80s. Let me just check. 1993. So yeah, John Leguizamo, Lisa Napoli. Um, so that is an early 90s title. The company that released Mirror Mirror. I want another company to release Mirror Mirror. I want those films. So next up is Party Line. That's a title that I really, really liked. And thank you, Matthew. And it is down to 231. It's got Leif Garrett and Greta Blackburn in it. It is one of those kind of like 90s era, kind of like not really erotic thrillers, but sort of like along that vein, that style. I really enjoyed Party Line. I actually watched it a couple times, and watched for the teenagers there in the film, because when you're watching the film, one of those teenagers voiced Peppermint Patty in the Peanuts cartoon specials, and trust me, you'll know her when you hear her voice. Next up is Seeds, which is down to 377. Again, a really cool little film. Seeds Vapors, actually, because that's a bit of a double feature there. Trip of the Teacher is at. Hey there, Hammers. Welcome, man. I'm so the top of Elliot Wars. I love Elliot Wars. Trip with the Teacher is in a 542. That's one that I'm still looking at grabbing down the road. Lust with the that's thing. Lust, that's such a great title, and it's such a shame. There's titles that I think like people just kind of bypass, but it's one that I think is worth looking into. Evils of the Night with the slipcover is down to 662. Thanks. I had a blast. Anytime me and Brian get together, because I consider Brian a great friend of mine. It's there, automatic chemistry. We do it well. We try to. He makes me look good anyway. Evils of the Night is a really cool little one. If you've missed out on Evil Town, or if you got Evil Town and you have not yet picked up Evils of the Night, it's an excellent little title that I do recommend you guys check out. Anything with Neville Brand, man. Neville Brand. I love his stuff. The Psychic Killer 282. Now, honestly, I have not seen The Psychic Killer since a big box VHS back in around grade, might have been high school, but it's definitely one that I keep like looking on. I keep like, am I going to pick this up this time? Am I going to pick it this time? It'll probably one of the lower price ones, so that is definitely one to look into. It's a fun little title. I remember a movie called Invisible Strangler too, which I also liked, that I got sour at the same time. Next up is Pigs, which is in 474 with the slipcover. Of course, there's a standard edition as well. I really enjoyed the movie Pigs. I got the Troma edition of that one, but it means that I need to get it. Does this mean these editions will disappear forever? Videodrome. Basically, what it means is that honestly, with the ones with the slipcovers, the slipcover will disappear forever, and the standard releases will be there. But if it's anything like a VSA release or a VSU release, then I think those are only like limited to those editions. Things like Rad, that's going to go. Things like VSAs, once they're out of print, they're out of print. They can't like that's the number of copies that they have available. And for those that missed out on Vice Academy 1 to 3 and are still kicking themselves for it, please keep an eye on the VSA releases because those are ones that you're gonna want. You don't want to be kicking yourself on missing out on, like with Evil Town and Vice Academy. There was a flurry of like rush to when they brought like some unnumbered Vice Academies in during the Evil Town during the last sale. People were rushing to grab those, and they went so fast within like 5 minutes. I think they're all gone. I expect the same thing to happen to Rad. If there's anything else that comes out during that time period, I'm not quite sure if anything's going to go at that rate. But with Evil Town and Vice Academy, those things went really, really fast. And I'm glad you like Psychic Killer because that's a favorite of mine from my youth. Luther the Geek is at $635 with the slipcover. You can get it without slipcover as well. I did like Luther the Geek. I'll get it out. La 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 la. I do like Luther the Geek. It has Stacey Hadiak in it. If you're a Days of Our Lives fan, Stacey Hadiak is on Days of Our Lives now. But I remember her from her Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles days. Oh, Blood Mania, Planet of Terror. I love those films. Fear Drum, as you know, I really like kind of pushed for people to get those during the sales. And when they went out of print, like people were like, are those going to print? I'm like, I told you on every sale to pick it up because it was a really cool one. And that one has basically like two like TV versions of those films as well. Next up is Night Train to Terror. That's not a limited edition, but it's a limited slipcover edition. And there is going to be 230 copies of that left. And I recommend a Night Train to Terror to all you guys. And if you don't have it, you got to get it. Not just for Night Train to Terror, but also for Greta. And for that amazing song that I promise you, once you watch Night Train to Terror, it will be stuck in your head for days. Many, many days. Next up is Punk Vacation with 433 with the slipcover. Now, Punk Vacation is a cool little title. There's actually 2 films on it. And it's one that even before it had a slipcover was on my radar for like a long time. It's going to be hard choosing which ones to pick during the sale. But after the Olivia Prozzi thing, Matthew, do we want to go with that one, or do we want to get the limited edition slipcover edition? Yeah, there are some really good like back catalog ones here. The telephone book has 962. That is the slowest selling. Hey there, Dave. Yeah, just 48 hours ago, man. Trust me, I'm counting it down. As telephone book has 962, which is a shame. Telephone book is an excellent, excellent film that I do recommend that you guys check out. And the fact that it has 962 is insane. I don't have it yet either, so what am I saying? I'm such a hypocrite. I need to check it out. I need to get it myself. I've seen the film, but I don't own it. And this one was recommended by Brian on this podcast that he did with Stephanie during the beginning of the Vinegar Syndrome. Of his Vinegar Syndrome month. By the way, if you're liking these videos, Brian Sauer did a whole month of just this podcast where he spoke with Brad Henderson, he spoke with Sam Deegan, he had Stephanie on. Hey there, Scouter. So just make sure you check those out. And Red Roses of Passion. That's one that I really need to get. I'm a huge Joe Sarnos fan. So that is high on my list of titles that I want to pick up. Sarnos does erotic thriller, or not just erotic thrillers, but like erotica. Actually, really, he does erotica, not really thrillers, erotica. And he shoots them very, very stylishly and very, very well. I know, I remember you. Sarnos is good, man. Trust me. Have I reviewed the telephone book? I have not. I don't have it in my collection right now, Ralph, although I do love the film and I've seen it a few times. It's one that I definitely got to pull the trigger on actually soon before it ends up being one of those titles that goes out of print, because I really want to check it in the telephone book. Now, I did promise you guys that I was going to show you some of the releases that are going out of print. I even brought up Dolly Dearest, which is not on this list, to show you guys, see if you guys are interested in Dolly Dearest. I want to show you a slipcover of that one as well. So let's go over a few titles, and you guys have any questions and stuff along the way, feel free to ask. I've read a lot, so I appreciate it if you guys speak and ask questions right now, because my voice is going to go, and then it's going to end up being a shorter video than I intended it to be. So first up here is Dolly Dearest. Did I switch the cover? Yes, I did. I love this cover. So this is a Denise Crosby, Tashiar from Star Trek: The Next Generation. A very cool little release. And yes, there is an interview with Denise Crosby on here. And trust me, I looked for that right away. Also with Ed Gale, who dressing me for it, actor Ed Gale. So, cool release. This is not one of the really limited ones, but I wouldn't be surprised if something like this sold quickly during the sale. I promised you guys that I would show you some of these slips you should care about video, because these are the VSA slips I'm about to share right now. And these are sexy beasts that do pass the knock test. So this is Savage Dawn. This is one of the VSA releases. It slips out like this, and does the knock test really well. This one has a commentary with director Simon Neutron. I hope I got that name right. Limited to 4,000 at the time that it came out, and they have posters. So I'll take it the poster to show you guys the poster of Savage Dawn right now. Whoops! And all these posters are, by the way, double-sided. Have I seen any Wim Griffith movies? Actually, I have a few actually. He's a regional horror director, so that's if you like some of the stuff like the regional horror type stuff, you're probably going to like William Griffin. And of course, these here have they're really cool posters, man. The alternate artwork there. And hey there, Dustin, welcome, man. We're talking to Vincent tonight. Surprise, surprise. I'm showing you guys some of the limited edition stuff that's out there. So, another thing to know is how limited are these? Well, they're actually hand numbered. So right up here, these are hand numbered titles with really heavy boxes that you slip in just the same way you would do the VHS stuff back in the day. What posters do I have on right here on my door? It's Dismembering Christmas from. It was a title that came out from Slasher Studios. I was lucky enough to have a viewer actually gift me the entire Slasher Studios lineup of films, and I was really sick around the time that it came, so I actually ended up spending an evening in bed watching the Slasher Studios films and having a blast. And I really did like Dismembering Christmas, actually. Remember that? Dominique is really cool. I told you, man, Dominique is really cool. I'm glad you liked it. And it's a fun little title. There's a title recommended last night, guys, was Dominique is Dead. Or is she? Alright, so this is Hell Riders. And if you're saying, my God, you're right. That muscled up guy looks totally like Adam West. Of course it does. This is a biker movie with Tina Louise from Gilligan's Island and Adam West. Can't go too wrong with that. Oh, by the way, I told you I was going to show you the cast for Savage Dawn, and I think that would sell a lot of people on Savage Dawn. So here we go. Savage Dawn stars Lance Henriksen in the lead, George Kennedy, Karen Black, Richard Lynch, William Forsythe, and a small role for Elizabeth Caton as well. So if any or all of those actors get you excited to watch a film, why have you not picked up Savage Dawn yet? Lance Henriksen and William Forsythe in the same movie with George Kennedy and Karen Black, you know you want that. So, Hell Riders, this, by the way, is number 494. And I will, just like I promised, take the poster and show you guys. Because it is a sexy beast of a poster, it is. Now that is a bad accent. People talk about the bad accents in some movies and stuff like that. I can do an even worse accent because skill. That's it, right? Skill. All right, so this is. I love the artwork on Hell Riders, by the way. Look at this. It's hard to tell what side to put up, isn't it? I want to put some of these up, but I'm waiting to get to my condo in Morocco, and that's hopefully not going to be too long. We have gone back here into a little. Some darker days. All right, Olivia, otherwise known as Prozzy in the UK. This is the edition to get. If you got the 88 Films edition, then I'm going to tell you right now, you need to grab this edition. And guess what? What's really cool about this edition? What's really cool about a lot of these here editions? This is region free. So if you're in the UK and you're thinking, damn it, I'm going to get the 88 Films one because it's my only option. That's all I can get. Well, that's not your only option. You can get this one. You can get a sexy slipcover on it with a sexy poster on the inside. I will show you a picture on the inside. So this is Olivia. The VSU title line really does appeal to me. I love 4K. Of course, I'm already 4K adapter. Movie. If they're going to put more movies like Beastmaster, more like Sword and Sandal films, more like films in that ilk and style, that is definitely my style. I love this cover here for Olivia. Just look at that. And you want to see the inside cover? Artwork? Very sexy cover there. So this is directed by Uli Lamo. Hey there, Marcia. Michael. Marcia. I just put your name into one. Thank you, Michael. I really appreciate that. But Olivia is Uli Lamo who did Boogeyman, and it stars his wife of the time, Susanna Love, and it has the great Robert Walker Jr., who did a ton of films and has this really unique style to him. If you haven't seen Robert Walker Jr., you trust me, you know him once you see him. He's been in a lot of films, including the infamous Son of the Blob. But I do recommend this title. It is a really cool release. Olivia from Vinegar Syndrome. And another one of the sexiest titles that Vinegar Syndrome ever put out is Blood Games. This one is getting pretty low. This is the slip to Blood Games. It is an incredible slip, I think. It's definitely one to look at. This is the artwork on the inside. And one of the neat things about it is there also is another alternate art. So the alternate artwork does not look like the slipcover. So this is one we are going to miss out if you don't buy the slipcover edition, because this artwork is exclusive to the slipcover. Like the artwork on the inside is not the artwork, is not this here. So that's something to think about. Like some of these here, when you reverse the cover, you get the slipcover artwork, right? Blood Games is not the case. Blood Games, this artwork here is... Do I own the Dark Half? Actually, I do. I really love the Dark Half, actually. I'm a huge Stephen King fan. I love the Dark Half. That is a fun little film. All right, so it's the Scream Factory edition. Are you ready for what I consider one of the best covers, one of the best slips that they put out? Pale Blood. Now just look at this for a second. And I think that this is fantastic with the raised lettering on here and raised on the side as well. All the red blood color lettering is raised. And the alternate artwork is also amazing. So here's the alternate artwork on the inside, and I really love the style of this art. It's a film that stars George Macaris and Wings Hauser, and of course it has a cute little role for Darcy DeMoss. So if you're a fan of Darcy DeMoss, definitely check this out because she's in this as well. This was one of their Blu-ray DVD combo packs. And I will 100% like go to bat for this film. I think it's a really fun, interesting film. It took me like a second watch before I really like appreciated it the way that I didn't appreciate it as much as I should have the first time around. But by the second time I watched it, I really got into the film, and I do. This is gorgeous. This artwork is utterly gorgeous. And just just to give you an idea, this is down to 155. So this will sell it during the sale. So it is one that I recommend that you grab right away. What's my most watched Vinegar Syndrome title? That's a good question. There's a few that I've watched. Night Train to Terror actually definitely been one that I've watched a bit. Pale Blood Ties series. Actually, yeah, you're right, kind of. I've watched the Amityville films a few times. Probably, to be honest with you, Angel is one of my strongest watches that I've watched a lot, and My Chauffeur, like I've actually watched that one a few times. Yes, unfortunately, Blood Games like Pale Blood is Region A. 70s horror, 80s horror, and 90s horror. 70s horror's got a more of a raw aesthetic to it. It's nastier. It's a little grittier. It's a little dirtier. 80s horror was a little bit more style. A little bit like a flasher, more mystery, more straight to video stuff was more more robust in certain ways, but it followed more of a trend. And 90s horror is definitely like kind of lower budgeted because like 80s had pretty much like turned it so much horror that by the time the 90s it started to come around, that horror wasn't getting as much play as it had before. So one thing that I'll say about the 90s horror right now, it's underrated a bit because at the time when 90s horror did come out, it did tend to be a bit more experimental to do things like the movie Scream, for instance, that meta slash film. It's so popular. I don't think it could have came out at any other time. Like I don't think any other time like it would have came out, would have got greenlit, or would have done well. And that's because it had gone so far like a past what the slasher genre pretty much played itself out pretty much during the 90s. But then you got like during the 80s, late 80s. But then you get like the really good stuff, Urban Legend, Valentine. Those are favorites of mine. Of course, movies like Scream. Actually, I like the first one we did last summer as well. So there are some interesting titles that came out in the 90s, and there's a lot of like titles like kind of flew under the radar as well. Late 80s, early 90s. It's a fun time. The Amityville box set. This is it, guys. Roddy McDowell, see it? Yeah, hell yeah. I agree with you, Tracy. Let's take them out. So when you open it up, it has this almost like Tales from the Dark Side style, like, if you've ever seen the Tales from Dark Side like series, what's my favorite one Vinegar Syndrome slipcover? Good, that's a good question, George. I'm not sure if it's Blood Games or Pale Blood, but it's one of those two. But trust me, there's a lot that I really like. Yeah, I do think that anybody that misses out on this set is going to regret missing out on this set. It's a fun tale though. Like Night Train to Terror is one I can watch like Lance any day, and it is an anthology, even if it's like because some anthologies you'd be surprised. I mean, anthologies probably started out that way. Yeah, definitely. It's a fun little one, especially Greta, which is the bonus film on there. All right, so we got Amityville Horror: The Evil Escapes. So all of these films are based on a book called Amityville What's that? Anvil Curse, right? Uh, Not the Anvil Curse, which is a movie that has nothing to do with Anvil. Deadly Games. I love Deadly. See, I love Deadly Games, but I don't like cover Matthew. It doesn't have the feel of the film for me. Like all the components are there, but the actual actual feel of the film doesn't come through for me. So this one here has a great little cast. You got Patty Duke, Jane Wyatt in this one here. Uh, it's a really cool little film if you haven't checked it out. There's an interview with the director on here, a video interview with the cinematographer as well. Next up is Anvil 1992. It's About Time, which is really a fun title, by the way. And again, like actor-wise, we got like Stephen Match. I can never pronounce his name right. Sean Weatherly is in this. Megan Ward is in this one here. Dick Miller, the great Dick Miller, is in this one. Jane Wyatt, she probably was actually. Jane Wyman. Oh, you think Jane Wyman or Jane Wyatt? I talk fast sometimes, so sometimes you gotta slow me down. Demon Wind has an excellent cover. That's okay. I'm getting things confused all the time. It's a regular thing for me. And unfortunately, these titles are all like Region A locked. So just to let you guys know on that one. This is Anvil New Generation. I love Meg Foster actually. Anything she's in. And in this one here, we got Terry O'Quinn. Yep, stepfather himself. Whoops, I almost lost that one. David Naughton, Richard Roundtree, the great Lin Shaye. I missed it on the covers for Bloodhook and The Hearse, but I do have both titles in my collection. But yeah, that's a great cast when you think about it. Terry O'Quinn, Richard Roundtree, David Naughton, and Lin Shaye in one movie. This is a mirror one, right? Some people didn't like this. They thought it was like a little bit more like experimental, a little bit too different. But I really did like this. I might actually watch one of these tonight. I don't have to work tomorrow, so I'm probably going to check out one of these, one or two of these tonight. It's been a while since I watched them. Probably when I first got the set. It made no sense to most people. I just enjoyed the fun of the film. It did take a while for like the Haka knock on Lin Shaye's door, but when they did, man, It's About Time's your favorite of the four. I actually really like this one here too. This one's probably the cheesiest out of all of them, and it's Amityville Dollhouse. Also the best cover, by the way. Just look at this cover. Just sink it in for a second. This is the best cover of the four. I love Amityville Dollhouse. I don't understand. If people don't like Amityville Dollhouse, I do not understand that. Hey there, Kubrick. Welcome, man. We got on this one here Lenore Kasdorf, Robin Thomas. Not the biggest cast as compared to some of the other ones there. But effects from the guy that did the effects from Nightmare on Elm Street Part 5, Dream Child. Photography by Tom Colloway, who of course worked on Demon Wind. So if you like Demon Wind, there's another like reason to sell it up for you. But just look at these here. Are these all not pretty gorgeous titles? I really don't know. I mean, like I like a good vampire film, I like a good werewolf film. I'll take the easy cop and answer and say I like them both. My original, I just went along for the ride. I don't know if I completely understand all of it now, but I really did enjoy it. Has any company picked up the rights to the first three films? Well, Scream Factory had them for a bit. I'm not sure if any other company has, but can you imagine if Vinegar Syndrome got those down the road and put out like both editions? Shawnee Smith. I love Shawnee Smith too. But this is my favorite Amityville box set. I know a lot of people say Sacrilege and the original Amityville box set with the three theater films is definitely the best out of them all. And I got all three of I got the first box set that came out from Scream Factory. I actually got for fairly cheap when it initially came out. It was one of their cheaper box sets that they put out. I do have a 3D TV right over there. See if I can show you. Beastmaster of the old Anchor Bay commentary track or a new one included? I'm not quite sure. I know there's a feature-length documentary, but we don't know a lot of the features on Beastmaster. We only know there's a documentary that is extremely extensive, and where they speak with absolutely everybody that they could get for Beastmaster. So I'm guessing there'll be Mark Singer talking on it, Don Coscarelli will be talking on it, Tanya Roberts. So I'm guessing that most everybody that they could get for Beastmaster is going to be talking on the Beastmaster documentary. But the commentary is probably ported over. If not, I'm sure there'll be a new commentary included. So there you go. All the limited edition stuff. Now tell me this. If I make a promise on here, do I keep my promise? I do tend to keep my promise, don't I? Although it was later in the evening, I decided I was going to get on here and make this video so we could actually talk about this stuff. Oh yeah, there's a lot of films they have that Anvil name. There's only a few of them that are actually considered Anvil sequels for real. Most of them are just because Anvil is a name that anybody can use. There's no trademark to the Anvil name. A lot of films like Anvil Curse, for instance, use the name Amityville, but have nothing at all to do with the Amityville series. What I think will sell out besides Rad? I will be very surprised if the Taking Tiger Mountain doesn't sell out at 78 copies. Malabimba, I expect to sell out. Pale Blood, 100%. I think that's going to sell out. The Amityville box set, pretty sure that's going to sell out. I would definitely keep an eye on things like Olivia and Patty Hearst, which is very low. So Patty Hearst which is a big Paul Schrader film. If people that don't normally go buy Vinegar Syndrome come in to buy Rad, they can see things like the Paul Schrader film, and I can see that going pretty quickly as well. So there's a lot of different titles that can go and will probably go really quickly during the sale. So it'll be interesting to see how it goes. There's always a surprise title or two that just starts to pick up steam and starts to sell. And what happens is this. A title can sell 50 or 100 copies. And then what'll happen then is people will start to see that it's starting to get lower, or to get lower fairly quickly. Some of the titles though, George, are region free titles. So we can always look at which ones of those are region free. Actually in the near future. But here's the thing. There are rushes on this. It's like going into a Black Friday store. The store during Black Friday. Yeah, Dave's right there. If it's under 200, 300, chances are it can sell really quickly. And there's always a dark horse. There's always something that's going to surprise you. During the last time sale, Vinegar Syndrome actually had a glitch in their system to put all the VSAs and limited on some of their limited releases at 0. And because of that, once they came back up, myself included, went in and I grabbed every VSA release that was there just to be sure, even though it said over 1,000 copies at the time. And some of them did actually sell out. You ever get Vice Academy 1 to 3? Nice. See? And it did go quick, right? That's the thing. When a rush happens, it can go really quick. You may think 150 or 250 copies is a lot. It's not. And it can go really, really fast, especially when it's something that people are going to be clamoring for. And I do like the movie Judgment Night. That's one with Emilio Estevez, right? Martial Law 1 and 2 has not been confirmed by Vinegar Syndrome, nor has Action USA, though I've heard strong rumors on both of these. Ones that they're both titles that I'm very interested in. VSA releases I'm going to be grabbing right away. So Spellcaster and whatever the two new ones are the 3 VSAs that I'll be grabbing from the sale. Those are givens, that's for sure. I'm a huge Adam Ant fan, so Spellcaster for sure. But if Action USA is one of them, I would love to grab Action USA. It's an action movie that's filmed by a stuntman, and that should just be all you need to know for Action USA. But if you need to know more, go check out the trailer later on for Action USA, because I think that will sell you on it. There are so many must-haves during like these sales, and these are just some here that I got a list of. There's a lot there. Oh, Judgment Day. Maybe I haven't then, Lance. Well, Ice Cream Man go to print. I don't think so. Like Ice Cream Man, like the limited edition, like of Ice Cream Man with the slipcover, that's already out of print. But Ice Cream Man standard edition is available, so I don't think it's going to go to print. Now that being said, guys, please always check with the standard editions to see how many is there, because it is a time where standard editions can go, like they won't go to print, but they may go to stock for a while. And I'm not quite sure if how stocked up they are with their releases. I know that last time, like a couple sales ago, I wanted to get Taboo 4, and it was always out of stock every time I wanted to get it on sale. But hopefully I'll be able to get that one soon, because it's the only one in the Taboo series that I need. Oh yeah, the Joe Bob Briggs segments. That's actually really cool. That was when he did the summer school segments. Nightmare Sisters. Yes, Ralph, I expect that to be one of the slipcovers. I expect to see Nightmare Sisters and Malibu Beach as two of the slipcovers, although nothing is confirmed yet. That was me, Ragman. Disconnected is getting a standard release, and I do definitely recommend Disconnected. It's a really, really cool one. So there you go. My voice is almost gone. So right now, guys, I do apologize, but I do want to watch a couple movies before I go to sleep tonight, and it's already 1:30. So please hit that like button, share, subscribe. Feel free to super chat support me. That always helps out my channel a lot. I am Aaron. I will soon be. I'll be doing a countdown for the whole Black Friday like sales for the rest of this week. So you expect a couple more videos. Hopefully everything goes well, bringing us right into Black Friday. I don't know if LA Wars is going to sell out, Marvin, but I will tell you this: you won't regret getting it. It's a really cool release. I am Aaron. This is not my movie library, but this is my study where I do a lot of my work at. You are the Cult of Cinema. You guys are fantastic. For my Crimson Cult, my patron and super chat supporters, thank you so much. You guys are amazing. I'll be keeping on doing the super chat stuff, especially right now. Gets near the end of the month. That's when this gets most important. And you guys are the Cult of Cinema. And I will see you guys here soon to talk more about the whole Black Friday stuff. What do we talk about afterwards? Well, we'll find out.